want to speak about it anymore. But this was on the desk. I was definitely going to, speak about this. Hey Naima, what's going on? Hope you having a good weekend as well. Shout out to all the mods too. Make sure that y'all like the stream. It's almost 2 weeks. But yeah, it's been on the desk for the last couple days. I didn't know whether I was gonna do a video or a live show, so I decided to do a live show because I can't just make a video about this. I gotta go live. You know what I'm saying? So let's see who's here. All right, La Original, Medley. Shout out to you for getting the profile pic on there. Charm, Jenna, Michael, Verla, True, Jewel, Diego, Young Jay, Jasmine, Bella, Charm, Vern, Keith, Kelly, Willie, is it the Clyde, Carly. Hold on a second, get these. King Stacy, Joseph, Elbert, see Naima, Jonathan. Shout out to Ricky E. He says, what's up, bro? And shout out to everybody, to everyone in the chat room. So salute to you, Ricky E. Donating salute to the chat. Richard. Slime Dog, what's going on? I want y'all to understand, through my research, there were multiple videos I found of women, black women, twerking at graduation, but this was the most egregious, But hey, let's stop here. We'll get called a hater. Well, you see, Jenna, I don't really care too much about that. I get called a hater all the time. I had a black female, what was it, yesterday? Sent me this long message through DMs, criticizing me for my video. So that comes with the territory, Cole B, see ya. Okay, shout out to Naima. Enjoy your weekend, Jay. I can't stay. Talk to you later. All right, Naima. Thanks for coming through. Enjoy your weekend as well. Naima, shout out to part of the group of mods I have here. But yeah, we gonna get into this, man, because when I have my criticisms of black women, they always talk about white women do it too. Well, I want you to start telling me, when do white women make it rain at graduation and throw it back? And the first video I'm going to show you was the recent one. Okay? This woman literally threw money up in the air and twerked right in front of this old white man. Like the stream, people. And there are going to be people who are going to agree with this. This just shows you how dysfunctional black women have gotten. I don't care if they don't have a college degree. Or if they do. It don't seem to matter. But she got to tell y'all exactly how she paid for college. Okay, cool, Naim. Have fun on the trip. I know I need to take me a trip or two. Some of these stories I'm saying. But it's always about black women. When you criticize them, they can't take criticism. You're literally making your race look bad, especially your race of women. And you expect people to ignore this shit? Shout out to Saliva. That's all I have right now. Okay, cool. I appreciate that, Saliva. Thanks for donating, bro. What's going on, Black Rhino? Shout out to everybody super chat so far. I want people to understand when I make the videos that I make, I don't make them because I'm trying to bash. Black women make it very easy for you to criticize them. They make it easy when they do things like this. This is not normal, but they want to normalize it. She wants the world to know that she paid for college stripping, which is basically what she was doing. I mean, if anybody has seen the move set of a stripper, she threw the money up and knew how to get into position. What's going on, Simply Jay? Like, you can tell this woman's been stripping. This is how she paid for college. Okay? And there are going to be black women who are going to support this and agree with this and gonna say, well, why are you trying to tell her what to do? She having fun at her graduation. Well, let me tell you something. Those people there are trying to make sure that they are running this ceremony. They don't want to have to deal with interruptions. Okay? You got your degree. Go about your business. But these females are addicted to attention. And they wonder why they can't keep a man. Because once he done hit it a few times, he's done. Because you don't bring anything to the table. You're basically an airhead. So let's get to the video. Get to this video. I want people to understand that this has become the norm. It's not like, you know, we're making this up. Oh no. You can't make this shit up. You just can't. Okay? That's why I get on the screen. This is why I speak out against the Cardi B's of the world. This stripper culture is taking over. It really is. Now, the video is courtesy of the Fly Nubian Queen channel. That's where I got the video from. Or that's why I'm utilizing here. All right. So let's see if we can get it on screen. So y'all can see this cooning, because this is cooning. Right in front of this old white man. I want y'all to take a look at this. You cannot tell me that this ain't cooning. She could have waited. Let me tell y'all something, man. She could have waited till she got to the parking lot. She could have waited till she got to her graduation party. But oh no. She got to make sure she get in front of white people and get to twerking. So let's get to the video. Then she went by like ain't nothing happened. And then she walked off like ain't nothing happened. Ma'am, you forgot your money, ma'am. Hey, you left your money. You got a mess all over. Not a mess, but you got money all over the stage. Hello? Let's go back. I want y'all to listen to the women in the crowd. Listen to the women in the crowd. These are somebody's mama, probably somebody's grandmama, somebody's wife, sitting up here applauding this. Now look at Pops. You got Pops. You got Pops. Pops is sitting there like, oh, like, oh. You got Pops looking like, oh, this is what black people do. Pops has got a front row seat. He's like, oh, this is what black women do. I wonder what she calls that. What does she call that, you know? Let's go back again. But she had this whole thing choreographed. She got the money in her hand. Oh. And she's about to throw it back. Look at the people behind her watching. Sheesh. Then she just walked off like ain't nothing happened, man. Oh man. Somebody's gonna hire her at their company. Somebody's gonna hire her at their company, man. This is the definition of an educated hood rat. Okay? She letting y'all know she ain't forgetting those roots. She ain't forgetting those roots. She letting y'all know she is full on hood rat. Okay? That she got through college by being through. It's almost like she's uncomfortable being on stage if she ain't, throwing it back. If she ain't getting no money thrown on her. She said, why don't you just have somebody go out and throw the money on top of you then? But you've going viral because you just had to have your scripper moment. She just had to have a scripper moment. Instead of her just getting her diploma and going about your business, everybody gotta look at you in your moment. So you mean to tell me that you went to school for all these years just so you can have this moment? I'm telling y'all, man, and they are normalizing this. This shit is becoming normal, people. No integrity whatsoever, no morals, just all about assets. Why you think you got so many women getting surgeries? What in the city girls is this? What in the city girls is this? What in the city girls is going on here? And y'all are we gonna see more of this. Okay, it wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing, like, in more graduations to come, we start seeing more of this. So you mean to tell me that you want people to perceive you for your mind and not your body, but you're twerking on stage at graduation? It's like women love to entertain, especially if they have, a nice body. They got a big caboose. They want to show everybody. But how is that going to get you a man that respects you? Because now they're going to see you as a sexual object, and you will not be able to change that perception. Because even at a graduation, you still could not turn the thought off. It's almost like the thought in you is 24/7. You got that 24/7 thought in you that you got to show the world that you know how to twerk, that you got a nice body, and you got a degree too. No one's gonna care about your credentials. You got females, as soon as you see them doing thotty shit, they want to throw their degrees in your face and say, "Well, I have a degree. I'm not this or that." But we have video evidence that say otherwise. We have video evidence that says that you're a thot. We have video proof that you like when people make it rain on you, and you like to twerk and throw it back in front of groups of people. You're basically cooning in its definition, even though y'all want cooning to be an opinion. No, cooning is what this was. Because you could have waited until after you got off stage, after you left the event. But because you knew a lot of people there are filming, a lot of eyes are on you, this ain't the typical, there to see you naked crowd, you decided to show them how you made it through school. I'm surprised, I bet you if there was some kind of poll nearby, she probably would have hopped on that. And these are the type of women. Listen, She's not famous that I know of. She's not an Instagram model that I know of. She's a regular female, basically. So when you have women, you have these women that will say, well, only the IG models do that. Strippers or whatever do that. We don't do that. Some women who are just like you do the same thing. And then you have women in the crowd applauding it. They're applauding it. And that's the type of society that we have now, is that these particular women think that it's okay to promote strippism. You know? But, oh no, this is not the only video that I have, people. This is not the only video. I have more. Okay? But the other one is a lot more embarrassing. The other video is a lot more embarrassing. Hold on, let me say it again. This second video that I have is a lot more embarrassing. Because the people on stage wasn't having it. They were not having it. They were not having no thought behavior at their event. So let me show y'all this. Gosh, this is embarrassing. This was the second video. This is the second video. All right. I'm going to play y'all the video so y'all can see it in all its entirety and all in its thoughtiness.
Camille Green.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Who raised these people? Where's your daddy? Let me play it again. It's only like 10 seconds. Let's play it again.
Camille Green.
Oh, they immediately got her off stage. Immediately. Now, this was last year. This was 2018. Okay? This was last year. The one I showed previous was this year. They immediately got her off stage. That's embarrassing. You sitting up there trying to twerk and they not having it. They say, not here. They said, you can tell, I don't know if this was high school or college. I'm not sure. Because they immediately got her off stage. They said, not here. Yeah, this has to be an HBCU. Let's play it again, people. So I want y'all to really understand the magnitude of what's going on nowadays.
Camille Green.
Miss Shanti.
Dude was like, what are you doing? Dude was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That must be the principal or the whoever is over the head of the school or whatnot. If it's a high school, if it's a college, they call him like a chancellor or school president. But he immediately got her off stage. Come on, man. This is why you have to raise your daughters, man. You got to raise your daughters, man. You got to raise your daughters, man. Because if you don't, they will be pulling shit like this. And I want y'all to understand this thought culture is seeping into these young people. They feel like whenever there's a crowd, they feel like they have to perform. They feel like they have to perform. Yeah, she pulled up her gown so y'all can see how, the shape of her ass. To let you know what I'm saying? And that was quick. It's almost like he got a heads up. Like they knew that she was gonna pull something. It's almost like they knew that she was gonna pull something. They're like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're at a graduation. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if she does end up probably being a stripper or whatnot, or try to become an Instagram model, you know. It wouldn't surprise me. These chicks can't wait till they get out of high school so they can go and do certain things. Y'all gotta understand, man. These chicks can't wait till they turn 18, they graduate high school so they can just be out wilding. You know? I know females, they didn't really do too much crazy shit in high school, but once they graduated, that's when they started having kids, messing around with ain't shit dudes. You know? But I noticed that when now I will say this though, this could be a high school graduation because, you know, people in high school, they're not going to play that. But if it's a college graduation, it's a lot more lenient, especially depending on what type of school you went to. So they letting the girl throw the money on stage and twerk, you know what I'm saying? But see, that's why these young girls need fathers in their life. Because when they don't have fathers, this is the type of mess you're going to have. Girls on stage trying to twerk. Sitting up here trying to twerk in front of a crowd of people. Just so, you know, she can get a pop, so to speak, you know. And that's what we have in this situation, you know. We have a situation where these women, man, they accept the attention. They want the attention. They crave it. It's like vitamin D to them, vitamin C. It's energy. And I think that is why I speak on what I speak on. I don't speak on what I speak on just to be speaking on it. I speak on it because we have an issue that is going on that is growing. It's growing, you know. Now, I want people to understand, like, why I make the videos that I make. Oh, you talk about Instagram models. Why you talk about Instagram models? Because, man, these girls, these young girls, they look up to those people. Why you make videos about Cardi B? Because you have these young girls that look up to Cardi B. I see you, 2Block. Like the stream, people. We need some more likes up here. So that is why I make the videos that I make. And I know I'm making an impact because I see the emotion that comes out of people. You know, I got people constantly sending me messages, upset, angry. Because I make the videos that I make, that I don't take my foot or my knee off anybody's neck that you know that needs it. We are in a different time. You know, when growing up as a kid, even in my early teens, didn't really have social media like that. Social media didn't become prevalent till I was in high school, you know. Shout out to 2Block. Appreciate that. So nowadays, these young kids are on Instagram. They're on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, on YouTube, right? And they're looking and they're listening to the music. They're watching these videos and they're emulating these girls because they think it's popular to be thotty. Why would you get on stage like this and embarrass yourself like this? Embarrass your parents. Your parents are watching it. Now, she may be from a single parent household, but the first female, the one throwing the money up, making it rain, this is what you're going to be known for. This is your life. Your life is going to be known as the girl that made it rain and twerked at her graduation. And no man is going to look at you with any type of respect or see you as a dignified woman. That is the life you chose. That is the life you chose. Y'all want to be like Cardi B? You want to follow her path? you're not going to get as far as her. And you have to understand that there is a wall on that road to Thotton. There's a wall there. And I don't think you're going to get past it. I don't care what you say or what you do, the way you shame people, because we have women out here that like to shame men who, are not interested in dating them because of their past, because their past is pretty much their future. Your past is your future. And if you're at graduations doing this says a whole lot about you. This says a whole lot about you. This basically shows why a lot of men are going to basically treat you as a pump and dump. I'm not saying that is right, but I'm saying this is, again, the life you chose. And I say this to every female who got an issue with me. This is the life you chose. If you got 2-3 kids by 2-3 different dudes, that is the life you chose. You can't be angry at nobody but yourself. Just like you got women who will sit there and they will, and I'm gonna do a video on this. I was going to surprise, but fuck it. You got women who will deal with guys who mentally abuse them over and over and over again. And then they expect people to help them. How can we help them if you keep going back to the same dude who's mentally abusing you? That's the life you chose. Deal with it. You're not going to stop dealing with that person because you think you can change that person. If that person hasn't changed by now, they're never going to change. You're delusional. And there's a lot of delusional women, just like this woman here on stage. She's delusional. The only type of men who's going to be dealing with her is the type of men who usually only deal with women. Either they are a super simp, okay, or just a man just trying to smash. That's it. And he's telling her that, but she thinks she can change his mind. But that never works out. Shout out to Antoine Wood. The wall is undefeated, bro. Exactly. It definitely is. The wall is definitely undefeated. It's definitely undefeated. I don't care what she tries to say or how she tries to spin this. Unless she's with somebody already and he's good with her doing this, men are just going to see you as what you are, a sexual object. Probably an ex-stripper. Probably got a couple kids, couple baby daddies, or maybe one that you deal with. But that's your life. These type of people need to be shunned because they're a bad influence on everybody else. You see, if you know a woman, right, and her friends are hoes, and she try to claim she ain't one, 9 times out of 10, she's just a quiet hoe. She's a quiet hoe. She's a quiet hoe. She low key. She'll try to tell you all the shit that the other girls are doing, but she ain't telling you what she doing. She ain't telling you what she doing. She keeping that on the wraps. Because she know that you're going to fall for it, because all she has to do is talk about how hard she works and her education level. She may even talk about how she ain't really been with too many guys like that. But she's not going to tell you how many dudes that she's dealt with in the intermediate. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of lying ass motherfuckers out here, man. A lot of delusional people who don't understand that their path in life has already been laid. And there's no changing it. Because they do shit like this. They do shit like this, and they think people are going to forget about this. The internet, not only is the wall undefeated, but the internet is undefeated as well. And once you put stuff out here like this, it'll never be forgotten. Just like the girl twerking on stage and they immediately whisk her off stage, nobody's going to forget how embarrassing that was. And then you look at her face, she was so happy to do that. Like, why do chicks be happy to, like, twerk in front of people like that? unless you're just a major attention seeker and you're addicted to the attention seeking. You're throwing money, and then you're leaving the money on the stage. Are you gonna collect that money? What if somebody walk up and grab that money? Somebody walk up and grab the money, then what? Then what? They done walked up and grabbed the money, then what? You know? Now you did that whole sequence for what? For somebody else to grab that money and go? And there were, and you know what's very sad is that there were young girls who are probably at that graduation who saw that. And in their minds, they're going to want to do that because young children are very impressionable. You already got women who dress their young daughters up like they dress. And then you got they dress their sons up like the men that they mess around with. Not the men they date, but the men they mess around with. The men they want to date. You know that was fake money. It could be prop money. You know. Could be some money that she brought from the toy section of Walmart. Listen, man. Live your life the best way you want to live it, man. But don't do anything like this, because as a black woman, you already know the perception of black women, right? You already know how black women are perceived, right? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Let me tell y'all something, man. This same black female doing this will be the same one on social media talking about why y'all talking about black women hair. She'll be on there talking about colorism and talking about how black men want to be with other races of women. They don't respect educated black women. But then you get on stage and do this. But then you wonder why black men are dating outside their race. They're dating women who are a lot more classy than trashy. They're not on stage twerking in front of everybody, showing their dysfunction. These sisters do it very well. They show their dysfunction very well, and they want to get mad at me and other content creators when we point out how they make themselves look bad. Because you have black women who will get on social media and they will say that we as black men are making them look bad. They'll say that we're making them look bad. They'll say that we are creating stories and fake news in order to make them look bad. I just showed y'all 2 videos, one last year and one this year, of black women twerking at their graduation. But then they'll say that we're doing this to them. They'll say that we're doing this to them. We're making them look bad. We're going out of our way to find stories about black women. No matter what news publication I go to, there's going to be 2 or 3 stories about something about black women. And black men too, of course. I'm not saying that, we don't be in the news, because we are. Of course, we always in the news, There was a black dude in the news recently, finessing women out of money. And I was going to do a stream about that. I may still do one. I'll do it on another day. Literally finessing women out of money. So, they still writing about us and things of that nature, But, we don't get a pass. There's nobody to blame in our situation. We have to look at ourselves. But as a black woman, you have to understand the perception this is going to have, the ramifications, how people are going to view you. down the road? Or do you care? Do you care? Because I'm beginning to think that some of these women really don't care. They just want their 15 minutes. They just want to go viral. She probably has somebody filming it for her, just so she can post it to social media. What's good, Vernon? But you got to stop making it easy for people to clown you. You have to stop making it easy for people to clown you. And that's what's going on in this situation. You're making it easy for white people. This woman literally did this in front of an older white man and felt comfortable doing it. And felt comfortable doing it. She felt very comfortable, almost like she was in her element. Y'all like the stream, people. Come on now. I know y'all not just watching and not liking the stream. Is there a couple of butthurt people listening? One of them probably gonna write me a DM message. Why are you saying this about black women? Shout out to Wayne Tillman. Sup, Jay? No words. Tired of these females. What I want to know is, it's enough that you're twerking. Why are you throwing money in the air? What is the point of throwing money in the air? Is it you want to show them that this is your life? All right, cool, Marie. That's how you paid your way through school? So we really have to look at the culture and for what it is. You know, the culture is just dysfunctional to the core, man. Dysfunctional to the core. And that's why I speak on it. It's not about speaking on topics that you may feel like are repetitive or you feel like have no usage, but they actually do, because women are very much so influenced by the culture. Whether people want to accept it or not, women are heavily influenced by the culture. And that is why I speak on them. You know? Really have to look at that. Because now a lot of people, when they look at black women, whether you want to agree with it or not, especially black women who are in college, like they're not going to view you the same as everybody else, because they're going to have this in the back of their mind. And again, y'all got to understand, it took me a week or so to really speak on this. It wasn't like I'm looking for a reason to speak out against black women. It's that, to me, I feel like this is just, it's a bad look, you know? It really is. And no Negro American should be supporting this. Black female or black male. But when you listen to the crowd, they ate it up because they see this as normal. when the young the girl in the red robe, when she was twerking, you basically didn't hear a peep really from the crowd. They were like, "What the fuck?" They're like, "What is this?" You know, they're like, "What is this?" You know. Shout out to Torian Rain. I'm gonna need black women to learn about Venus, Hottentot, and Sarah Bartman being placed in human zoos on display for their bodies against their will. Yeah, that was a horrible story, Torian. And there are some. I saw a post on Instagram where there was a black female embracing, the stereotype of Sarah Bartman, not in a good way. It was almost like she was saying that the whole Sarah Bartman thing was good because she was oogled and liked by these European men. But I do think a lot of these women who display their ass all the time should look into the story of Sarah Bartman. Because that is a horrible story. It is. And I think that a lot of these women who are constantly taking pictures from the side and from the back, you never see their face. They are basically following in the footsteps of Sarah Bartman, but not against her will, Not against their will. Where did it happen? Let's see. Let's look up Sarah Bartman. Sarah Bartman. This was in the late 1700s, this was the late 1800s, early 1900s in regards to Sarah Bartman. Originally from South Africa, she was basically tricked into going to France. And that's where she was put on display. Like a circus animal. So y'all need to go do y'all research on that. I'm trying to find my phone lines, but I'm gonna have to work on that. So I may not be able to take calls. But salute to everybody that's here. Yeah, they have human zoos. I've heard that they still have human zoos. I heard that's still going on in certain places. But if you look at the parallels between Sarah Bartman and the women of today, look at the woman on stage. Prime example. You getting on stage and you immediately twerking for them. Yeah, there are women who we've literally never seen their face. All we've seen is their assets. We've never really seen their face. She volunteered just like that's They'll definitely boycott it because it's that mirror. Seeing, a movie on Sarah Bartman is a mirror of the women of today, and they wouldn't want to see that mirror. They really wouldn't. It's too harsh. They wouldn't know how to take it because they'll be confronted with what they're trying to be. You're trying to be, in your own way, another Sarah Bartman. And then on top of that, they want respect. And it's like, how are you going to get respect when you're twerking and showing your assets and, you stand in front of this older white man and you just making a fool of yourself? You're making a fool of yourself. And that is why you have black women who are being stereotyped in movies and TV shows. They're being stereotyped because they do things like this. And it's crazy. It's crazy that in this society the women have chosen to basically try to go in a direction that is not going to be healthy for them, because these women have kids. These women are raising kids, man. They're raising kids. They have families who may depend on them because they don't have any men in the household or the families. It's the women who are working, going to school, getting the degrees, right? Because a lot of those women are not choosing the right men, you know. So understand this, people who get upset with me when I speak on these particular topics. Just look at your fellow sisterhood. Look at your fellow sisterhood, and then you'll see why me and others are speaking on these topics, because you make it easy for us. You make it easy for us. You make it very easy for us to be able to say the things that we're saying. If you wouldn't do this, we wouldn't have anything to say. What does men enforcing boundaries have to do with this woman twerking on stage? So what do you want men to do? Physically grab her and just jack her off stage? That's that illogical mindset, which is why some of y'all just stay single, because you think the world is one way when it's really something else. You cannot blame men for everything. You blaming men for everything. Let me tell you something. Blaming men for everything is not going to change the fact that these females are lowering their value every single day. You're lowering your value every single day. She chose to do this. She chose to do this. Y'all want to sit up here and blame men for why these women make the decisions to do what they do. That's the problem with a lot of women today, and that's why, you know, we have this feminist-minded women who keep losing. Feminists are not winning, they're losing. Shout out to Dead Straight. Speak that truth, bro. Appreciate it. But you got females like this Carly Ellison that think that if blaming men is a way out, you can't blame men for this. You can try to all you want to, but all you're gonna do is end up having to look yourself in the mirror and see that she chose to do this on her own. She chose to do this on her own. This is a decision she made. Okay? This ain't got nothing to do with men in this situation, in the other situation. These women are choosing to get on stage and twerk and be the center of attention. But once again, they want to blame somebody. Somebody got to take the blame for them making the decisions that they make. Because they know that, by actually thinking and really trying to change is not good. They don't want to change. They want things to stay exactly where it is. They don't want any change in society. They like the way things are because they think they're winning. Black women, you're not winning. You haven't been winning for a long time. Over 70% of you are single, and even more of a percentage of you are single mothers. You're not winning right now because you have women like this getting on stage, twerking, throwing money in the air, and then you have other women who are supporting this shit. If there were dudes doing dysfunctional shit, do you think I'm gonna get on here and make excuses for them? Absolutely not. This is why I got effeminate men, you know, trolling in comment sections or trolling in the chat because they know I'm gonna call them out for bullshit. Women are the teachers of culture, man. They're the ones who are responsible for making sure those children understand this world. You know, bringing values into them, you know? Values that that only a woman can bring to raising children, even though you do need both parents. But there's certain things that men are good at instilling in their children, and there's other things that women are good at instilling in their children. That's why you need balance there. You know? You know, no doubt, you know, black women are doing good in entrepreneurship because there's a lot of creative black women. But you also, when you look socially, when stuff like this is going on, that's not winning. That's not winning, man. That's not winning. You know? Because at the end of the day, it's just like when I spoke about abortions. Okay? When I spoke about abortions, you should not be having unprotected sex with different men. You should not put yourself in a position to have to get an abortion. You know? If you would stop sleeping with random men or cheating on your husband, cheating on your boyfriend, you wouldn't have to get no abortion. You working in corporate America and you get pregnant by a dude who literally has nothing to bring into a situation and you don't want to have that dude's baby, that's a decision that you made. That's a decision that you made. But of course, people are going to try to put blame off because they don't want to see the truth. And the truth is that these women are out of pocket. These women are getting more and more out of pocket, man. You know? And we need to bring them back in the pocket. Bring them to fucking heel. Especially these out of pocket thizots. That's why I speak on them. And I know y'all hate when I speak on them, but I'm going to. Until some improvement is made, I'm going to continue to speak on them. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe. Okay? Matter of fact, you can unsubscribe right now. Why don't you do that? If you don't like the commentary that I produce, you can unsubscribe right now. But I know you're not because a lot of y'all are obsessed with me and my content. I've seen people talk shit and then be right back in my comment section because they can't stay away. Shout out to the legend of Salmonia. Insert obsidian voice. Are you kidding me? You know? So we really have to look at the dysfunctional people in society and distance ourselves from them, whether that be our family or people who we were friends with. Just in everyday life, you have to, divest from dysfunction. You know, we have to divest from dysfunction because if we don't, then we're going to become part of the shit show. We're going to be a part of the shit show. And that's what we have in society. Shout out to Liberus D. James. Appreciate that. Or Liberus. Appreciate it. society has changed, man, and social media gives you a window into where everybody's mindset is, but people lie all the time about themselves on social media. I see people all the time, people on YouTube, they be lying about who they are, trying to perpetuate this outward appearance when we all know that you as soft as cotton tissue. You know what I'm saying? We know that you're as fake as fake leather. But people, portray themselves as things that they aren't. Appreciate that, Joseph. But definitely we need to divest from dysfunction. Not that stupid ass, fake divesting from black men, but you're still, getting screwed by black men. Not that divestment. We talking about real divesting from dysfunctional people. Shout out to Raiders 48 Gates. Because, you got so many sisters talking about they're divesting, but they're still sleeping with black men. Shout out to Harry Scaffold. Appreciate it. We're not talking about that fake, divesting that is going on. We talking about real divesting from dysfunctional people, And that's where it begins, man. It's about identifying our surroundings and the people around us. Are those people genuine people? Are they dysfunctional? Do I want these people around my kids? Because for the people that got kids, man, especially got young kids, I fear for those kids, man. Being in the schools with some of these, these kids who are raised in these households with women like the ones who's twerking in this video, they're being raised in households like that, and your kids have to go to school with those kids. Salute to everybody that's here. Make sure that you have liked the stream and have gone over. Also, check out the video that I produced today on the JDBTv channel. Go and check that out, people. I'm gonna work these phone lines for another. I'm gonna see if I can get on the work for the next 5 minutes. If I can't, then I won't take phone calls. But we got a lot of work to do, man. We got a lot of work to do ourselves, but this is why it's important for us to identify people like this and call them out. Because if we don't, those people are going to become the majority. They're going to be the ones speaking for you. They're going to be the ones who are pro-black. Because we already got a lot of pro-black thoughts out here, We got a lot of pro-black thoughts out here too, man. Now, I was gonna say, I'm gonna back on abortion one more time. I see that there are women who are, and they're feminists. They're upset because they think that men are trying to control their bodies, which is the furthest thing. It's almost like women want a fail-safe for the bad decisions that they make, And what abortion did, abortion allowed women to be able to have a way out when they messed up. Have sex with a dude too many times unprotected. A guy they don't really want to be with like that. They just like to sleep with him. And they get pregnant by him, Jasmine says, I've never dated a black. Really, Jasmine, but do you like to be around black men? I mean, does being around black men make you uncomfortable? Because I'm assuming you're a sister. I don't know for sure. You could be a full Caucasian woman. We don't know. You know, could be a full Caucasian woman for all we know. But yes, I want more women. I like seeing women call out the dysfunction because we've never really seen it. We've always seen women make excuses, or they'll take, they'll be on the fence with it because they don't want to anger other women. But, but to see them call it out it's good to see. But yeah, I'm seeing women talk about how we're trying to control their bodies, but nobody controlled you from having multiple abortions when they should have. Women need someone to control their bodies. Some of them probably do, because they're not taking care of it. A black preacher. Women do call it out. We call out haters, unfortunately. Well, medley, I wouldn't. I mean, you're gonna be called a hater anyway, so I would say be called a hater for the right reasons. Be called a hater for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? But men are not trying to control your bodies. You've done a good job of giving your body away. You've done a good job of that, and you want abortion to be able to get rid of your mistakes. Just like you have women who will go and get surgeries in order to fix the physical, things that they want to fix, that they feel like will make them look better. You got women who want to go get abortions because they want to rid themselves of a mistake. They got pregnant by a guy that they really was just sleeping with, that really don't see no future with. That's what they were using abortion for. They were using abortion for that. It wasn't because they were a teenager. It wasn't because of some type of sexual abuse or anything like that. It has a lot more to do with them wanting to fix the mistakes that they feel like they made. And that's why you see these women going crazy, man. That's why you see some of these women starting to go crazy. Like, they're literally going crazy. And you can tell. Lord Jeannie, I agree. And that's why I'm willing to take criticism. I've seen other black women take criticism. It's been a very small group. But I've seen some of them, take criticism for their honesty. But there's nothing wrong with being honest. What can these women do to you? You don't know them. No, they can't do nothing to you. All they can do is talk. That's it. But they can't really give you any talking points that really deconstruct anything you're really saying. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm getting the phone lines revved up. Oh my God. So just give me a second. Give me a second to make some adjustments here. Oh, don't mind that. All right. All right, let me get this up and going. All right. What's going on, Gemini? All right. I'm gonna put this number in the chat, and y'all call in. All right. Take a few phone calls. All right. If you don't want to call in, that's fine. That is fine with me. But if you really want to speak on a topic, you can do so. All right. I'll hold them open for about 5 minutes. If nobody calls in after that, I'll just shut them down. You know, you can speak your mind. You know. Let's see. But Brittany B, you said yourself you haven't dated in a long time. So maybe you had a one bad dating experience and you know now it shaped your whole foundation in regards to black men. That's how it seems. You know. Never let one experience or even two change your whole perception. You're right, Marie. They do get a little tongue-tied, you know. But like I said, it's not gonna be open long. I'm having for 5 minutes, and that'll be it. I think I said as much as I need to say. Brittany B, you can call in. You want to clarify? You know, you can speak to me live. You know. Any women who are watching and you're not typing in the chat, you want to call in? You can call in. Let's see. Didn't say you were against them. I'm saying you said your experience changed your perception of them. Is what I'm saying. Change perception and disliking or hating. It's not really the same, you know. Okay, Ezreed. Okay, Ezreed. Maybe there's a new person that's listening that's like a loyal viewer. You want to call in? You can be anonymous. Just say your name is anonymous. That's all you gotta say. You know, just don't call in private. You know, I don't give out numbers. You know. Shout out to Melody for getting the profile pic. You're live with Jada Black. What's going on? What's good, man?
Hey, just send a shout out to you. I'm not going to speak on the topic. I'll just send a shout out to you, my brother. This 48.
All right.
You, Barnes, and the rest. Yeah, you, Barnes, and the rest of the crew for a minute.
All right.
Okay. That's what's up. All right, take it easy, my brother.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks for calling in, bro. Ski.
That's the best. That's the best.
All right, shout out to well, shout out to the calling in. He's giving a shout out. Anybody here? The miles, everybody. All right, let's see who this is. You're live with Jada Black. What's going on? Hello?
Yo.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I'm here. Yo, what's good, fam? Yo, I just wanted to speak on that situation on your video, man. That twerking video, bro.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem with the women of today, bro. Like, they want it both ways. They want to act like hoes, but then they want to be respected at the same time. And it's like, no, you got to choose one way or the other. Like, I don't know why the fuck you would want to be twerking at a damn graduate. Have you noticed that lately? Like, motherfuckers don't just graduate, get their diplomas and their degrees and shit, and go about their day. No. Everybody got to go viral now and do some silly ass bullshit like that. It's like, how the fuck do you want to be respected as a person, but then you act like a fucking buffoon? How I look at it is this, man. If you act stupid, you get stupid prizes, nigga. And the stupid prize is getting ridiculed and shit by other motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I just, and you know, oh man, my bad, bro. Go ahead, man.
Nah, you good. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, you know, I just don't understand it, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, people these days, man, they graduate and shit, instead of just shaking the dean's hand and shit, they want to get a nigga a hug or, you know, do all this shit. It's like, act like you're a professional, man. Like, you know, you can't do this at the workplace. Like, if a motherfucker hire you, what you gonna do? You gonna give him a big hug and grab him and doing all this bullshit? You gonna dance to motherfucker? You know, seeing this cool ass shit, it reminds me of when Bobby Shmurda got his deal. And I don't know if you remember that video, but this nigga was dancing on tables in front of label execs. Performing his song.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bro, like, what the fuck, man? This is not the 1800s. We don't have to, you know, soft shoe and motherfucking tap dance and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, them days is over with. Should have been over with. But, you know, niggas still want to act like that, bro.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it don't make no sense, dog. And it's just like, you know, it's just crazy out here, man. You know, just the way people, you know, act and shit. And I just don't. I mean, here's the thing: if you want to act like that, go ahead and act like it. But don't act like that and then turn around and be like, oh, I want respect. I want, you know, to be looked at differently. Like, no, I'm gonna look at you like you're a fucking clown. Like you playing clown games, you gonna get looked at as a clown, bro. Like that shit don't make no sense to me.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, we got to start, you know what I'm saying, raising, you know what I'm saying, all these young people, we got to start raising them and letting them know that this internet shit, this internet attention, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth acting a fool, right? Act like you got some sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem. Everybody want to go viral these days, man. Everybody want to, you know, just do anything to be seen, no matter how stupid or detrimental it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you remember when people was doing the motherfucking Kylie Jenner lip challenge?
Yeah.
Like, that's just one of the many simple things that we have in society today, bro. Everybody just want to go viral no matter what it is. Go viral doing some real shit. Go viral doing some shit for your community. Go viral doing some shit that's like, that's good for your community and for yourself. Like, quit doing just silly ass shit just to get noticed. I mean, you only gonna get noticed for like 24, 48 hours anyway, and people gonna move on to the next dumbass.
Right. That's how it works. It usually is.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What is there a time limit? I don't want to be.
No, I mean, I'm get some more callers in, but I was gonna let you finish your point. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I just want to. I'm gonna finish up, man. I'm just summing up with this, man. Like what you're doing, bro. I like the videos, man, and I hope your platform continues to get bigger, bro.
Cool,
you know, I've been a fan since 2017, bro.
Cool.
And I'm gonna still be a fan. So I like your videos, man.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna holler at you later, bro.
Hey, thanks for calling. I appreciate you watching the sport, man.
No problem.
All right. Shout out to him calling in, supporting, long time listener. You're live with JDBlack. What's going on? Hello? Yo, what's good, man?
That video right there, like, I don't know whether to, like, shake my head or just, like, punch the air, like, big boys in the hood. Like, this is absolutely, like, ridiculous. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, this is supposed to be a day of, like, you know, celebrating you, like, accomplishing something. Who knows if she is the first person in her family to graduate from college. And this is how she chooses to leave a lasting memory. The last time that she's ever going to be in front of all those people. And then did it on camera. The internet is undefeated. I always say a few things are undefeated. The wall, the internet, and some other things. But especially those two right there, which apparently is going to affect, both are going to affect her. And I'm just, like, sitting there looking at it like, wow, like, this like, you really felt like you were doing something here. She probably doesn't even care that she went viral.
No.
Because you know, at the end of the day, it's all about attention and you know that instant sensation.
Mm-hmm.
And something else I think has struck me too.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of I said in the chat, I said two things ruined us: integration and feminism.
Mm-hmm.
Those two things really, really hurt us in a huge way.
Yeah.
And when it comes to that feminism part, I think a lot of black women, especially those of today, are trying to compete with another group of women in a way that is very toxic. And I don't know what it is. It's like they're trying to compete for the attention and affection of every single person, but when we as black men try to tell them, look, tone it down, scale it back, like then it's like, oh, we're not allowing them to be free. They're making it seem like we are the ones that oppress them, and if you ask some of them, they'll say that.
Yeah, I've heard that. Does it make any sense to me?
I mean, we don't have anything, like we don't have any institution in place to actually oppress you. That's your Caucasian counterpart that did that, but they'll try to throw it on us as if we did it because it's so easy in order for them to do that. Thanks to mainstream media and a few other outlets that we do not run nor do we own. So apparently, it's all our fault that we are in the position that we are in. And then that word accountability, that is like, man, that's like a Trojan horse with them. That's their kryptonite right there.
They don't like that word.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Men do not like that word.
No, they're allergic to it.
I don't know what it is. See, us black men are forced into accountability from every angle, whether it's from black women, white men, white women, anywhere. We are forced to take accountability. And we will check whoever has to be checked. But the minute that many of them have to get checked, it's like now we're offending them or something like that. Let me tell to the black women of right now or at any time, don't think just because y'all lined up with white women with feminism back in the day that makes you a white woman. Because as you can see right now, white women are getting checked by their white men. Look at what's going on in Alabama.
Right.
With them anti-abortion laws. By the way, it was signed into law by another white woman.
Yep.
So they're getting their comeuppance right now, and they're losing right now.
You know, the media gave the black women a lot of praise for helping Doug Jones get into Congress. You know, you remember that? And, and then Alabama turns around and makes this abortion ban.
Exactly. And you know what's so crazy? I actually said when he won, when he won his election, the first thing that came into my mind, and it probably came into your mind and everybody else, what is he going to do for the people that supported him? That man been in office for 2 years now, going on 2 years now, and I have yet to hear him have done anything for the ones who got him in the office. I said, yeah, it's nice that y'all went and voted him in, but what has he done for you? Did y'all put any money into his campaign? Which I doubt they did, because if they did, he would have been doing something for them, because they run off of money. A vote, that's free. You can vote for free. Anyone can do that. But it all comes down to the money. And we know who funded his campaign, and it wasn't them. They were just the ones that showed up. As a matter of fact, I was watching CNN last week, and when they were talking about the election right now, and they were saying how black women were a huge part of the base for Democrats. I forgot which one they were talking about. It might have been Joe Biden. I'm like, y'all need to do the research on a lot of these people who you're throwing your support behind, because they do not have your interest whatsoever. But it's amazing that, and it was amazing that when they had a panel, and the person who made that statement was a white woman. She made that observation that it was black women that are really upholding the foundation of the Democratic Party.
Right.
They didn't say black people. They said black women. Black women. And see, they do that because they know that unfortunately a lot of black women love getting that praise and attention, even if it's the wrong praise and the wrong attention.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
And then if we say, if we try to check them on it, then somehow we're taking away their praise and their attention. I'm like, we're not taking away anything from you. We're trying to educate you on what they're trying to do. They're literally trying to brainwash you, and you're allowing yourself to be brainwashed. But at some point, you're just going to have to like scale back a little bit and say, hey, I say this, consequences can be one of the best teachers ever.
Yeah. And black women, like, they don't understand, like, the media is only putting you on a pedestal because they know you're going to vote DNC, know you're going to vote for the Democratic Party. Black men, you know, they're writing articles about why black men have stopped voting for the Democratic Party. It's almost like they're trying to create a divide and say, hey, black women, you know, we appreciate what you're doing for us. Stay with us, you know.
Exactly. That's why I got so mad when Simone Sanders and her linebacker built self, and up there looking like E.J. Johnson, decided to make them comments about Uncle Luke when he gave his opinion about Kamala Harris back in, was it February, January, saying that we don't have an opinion or we don't have a right to say this and say that because we're not qualified. I said, what makes you qualified? This is the same woman that literally, Simone Sanders is a political whore. Like, she will hop from whatever Democratic person she can that she thinks is going to win. She went from Bernie Sanders, and now she's at Joe Biden, both of which are not going to do nothing for the collective of black people, especially Joe Biden, because if anyone in the chat has watched the series of Professor Black Shoes video, he has been going in on Joe Biden like crazy lately. Like, he is literally pulling out all the receipts about Joe Biden from his past that will make him not a suitable candidate for black people. But she manages to find her way to be on his side, and I remember they showed up a picture of his campaign team, and most of them, and every person I saw in that picture was either black or a person of color. There wasn't one white person up in that picture. I said, I know what they're trying to do, but it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's symbolism. That's mainly what it is, symbolism. Yeah.
But see, they scared now. Because the new black media is like calling all of their stuff out to the carpet. I said that we are probably one of the scariest entities right now for this campaign. I said 2020 is going to be looking real spooky for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. Just look how many people trying to run on the Democratic ticket, man. Like, it's going to be a sideshow for real, especially when the debates come along. The debates are going to be hilarious, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the 2020 debates are going to be like straight up comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be just sitting there just laughing at them. Like, really? Like, that's the best y'all could do? Because it's like, it's a new day. Like, we are not going to just be voting for you just because you're a Democrat. People are now starting to finally listen to what you're saying. And right now, we are voting based on action. What are you going to do specifically for us? Don't say POC because a lot of us don't even want to put ourselves into that category. What is going to be specifically for us as black people? And when they try to get that, and when they try to question Simone Sanders about that on CNN, that woman was up there stuttering like crazy. Like, she was just stumbling over her words, like dominoes just being trickled over. As soon as one falls down, she just like, she couldn't even get her words together. She sounded like a broken record.
Yeah, she was trying to dodge those questions, man. You know, but
I can't believe she's 29.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe it either. I'm saying 29. 29. Like, ain't no way. Hell, you my age, or because I'm already 30, so she's 29. I think her birthday is later in the year. I'm like, ain't no way in hell she 29, man. Ain't no way.
Exactly. When I saw that she was, I thought she was 29. I was like, y'all lying.
She got to be lying by the age, man. Ain't no way. But I seen some old pictures of her when she had hair. She does look a little younger nose, but she was smaller too. I don't know what happened.
Maybe she should have kept it. I don't know.
Maybe. But I appreciate the call, man. Thanks for calling in, bro. It's a good call.
No problem.
All right, man. All right. Shout out to the brother for calling in. That was a good call, man. Yeah, Simone Sanders. I tell you, I saw some old pictures of her when she was took a picture with Bill Clinton. She looked a lot different. She was smaller and she had the long extensions or whatever. She looked like she could be in her early 20s. But now I don't know if it's the stress of the job or what, but she don't look 29. All right, you're live with Jada Black. What's going on? What's going on, Saliba?
Not much, not much. I just want two topics. One, what the last guy was saying about the Democrats, and basically like how we are in the plantation with the Democrats. I'm going to say this though. It can turn out the same way with the Republicans. Like, let's say if we decide, oh, let's take our vote to the Republicans. As years pass on, the Republicans are going to do the same thing to us because they know that our vote is theirs. Then they're going to say, well, why do anything for black people? We know they're going to vote for us. So my thing is this. I think what we as black people should do is start splitting. You know, let's start voting based on who does the better job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because and I'll say this also. Like, I have no problem with Trump as president. I had no problem with Obama as president because what I was doing before Obama got in office, I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? Anything I progressed, it was because of me. You know, I'm not saying they don't do absolutely nothing. But what I'm saying, at the end of the day, I got to get up. I got to go to work. If I don't have a job, I got to get up, look for a job, apply, assert myself. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump is not doing that for me, nor is Obama doing that for me. That's why I say when I see that liberals and conservatives be arguing on Facebook all the time, I'm like, yo, you both are arguing. At the end of the day, these presidents are not here to give you a handout. Sure, they may do some things like healthcare and do some things here and there and stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to do for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, that's why I've spoken about how the local elections are more important than the general because it affects your area more. Yeah.
Thank you. There you go, mayor, governor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my thing is this: even with some of the conservative Trump fans on Facebook, like some of them be racist. Like some of them really do be saying racist stuff. I don't consider them conservatives though. I consider them. They think Trump is this guy that's going to automatically make them better because they're white. Yeah. I don't consider them really conservative. They're just straight out.
Yeah, you got some of those guys. They don't think black people are very smart, and you know that they are totally against immigration, and like those guys, like you know, I've seen comments from some of those types. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll be like, okay, illegal immigration does need to be taken care of in this country. But I even tell some black people this. Half of the problems in the black neighborhood is not illegal immigration. Black people themselves need to look in the mirror and look at why they have these problems in these neighborhoods. Because, listen, when these black women be having 4 children by 4 different dudes and stuff, that's not illegal immigration. You know what I'm saying? That's you making bad decisions, picking the wrong guys. And then when you pick the wrong guy, say, I got 4 children, nobody wants to help me more. That's not illegal immigration. That's you. Or when the black dude who be paying child support saying, why am I paying child support? Blah, 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 blah. So you got these illegal immigrants? No, bro. You out there had a woman with a child that you didn't even want. You didn't want the woman. You just wanted to bang her and bust a nut. Now you're paying child support, and now you're blaming white supremacy. No, bro. Look in the mirror. Blame yourself.
Yeah, that's why I tell people.
One quick point I want. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You good?
No, go ahead.
No, that's what I would say. You know, whenever you go out as a man and you're impregnating women and you know you can't financially support those children that they're going to have, they ain't got nothing to do with white supremacy. It has everything to do with you, you know?
Yeah.
So I said that. Yeah.
Thanks. There you go. And one more point before I go is that as far as this video, like the black women church and their top, listen, man, black women find ways every day to embarrass themselves. Every day. I mean, man. Yeah. And when black women come in and say, well, you know, black men be fighting in videos and stuff and ghetto videos, so, okay, I'm going to admit to you. Yeah, black men find ways, create ways every day to embarrass us. Ghetto fights in these videos and stuff. Like, there was on Facebook, media takeout, where guys were fighting all the time. And I'm like, okay, you guys sit up there and say that the media is portraying black people in a negative image. But you be on media takeout liking the pages,
Uh-huh.
glorifying them. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's the point I wanted to make, man.
Okay. Cool. I appreciate you calling in, man. Thanks for calling in, Saliva.
All right, man. All right. Have a good one, Jay.
You too. You too, man.
Uh,
Shout out to Saliva for calling in. Shout out to everybody that's called in so far. There was a number that was calling in. You want to call back in? One more time where the lines are open? Where the lines are open. Hopefully everybody in the chat... Hopefully everybody in the chat has liked the stream so far. Yeah, you guys out here who are impregnating these women and you know you don't have the finances, that's all on you. Okay? You know, you cannot be getting women pregnant and blaming the system of oppression. Okay, bro? I ain't got nothing to do with it. It's bad decisions. Okay? Hopefully y'all making good decisions. Hopefully y'all making good decisions on this weekend. Nothing but good decisions, hopefully. Shout out to everybody that's been hitting the super chat, donating. Appreciate it. Hey, call back in. The 7-8 caller, call back in. The lines are open. You can hear me. All right, cool, Denise. I see you, Denise. Well, Beth, you're more than welcome to talk about your abortion policy. Just hopefully it's not typed in a whole bunch of paragraphs. Hey. Yeah, good decisions. Good decision. You're live with Jada Black. What's going on? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. It's kind of nice to actually have like a girl call in. Hold on.
Okay. Are you in the chat? Like, are you in the chat?
Yeah, I'm in the chat. You actually responded to one of my responses where I was basically saying how like these things need to be called out because change needs to happen. I'm too tired of women nowadays thinking that Cardi B and City Girls are inspiration, that they're people to look up to, and they're really not. They're really promoting the degradation of black women, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not something to be proud of, and it's not something like we already don't have that much representation in the media as like black women, so it's an issue that the people that we actually do have in the media are still pushing those nasty stereotypes.
Yeah.
So,
that's why I make the videos I make. It's about being able to point these out and hopefully it betters the situation. Because as a black person, we have to be very aware of our perception in society, you know?
Yeah. And I appreciate the videos that you make because regardless if people are in their feelings about the things that you do, I feel like it's still getting the message across.
Okay. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. But as pertaining to the video, I just see it before your live, and I was just disgusted by it because I was like, here is your time to shine as a scholar, and you use it to what? Just get, a couple of seconds of fame, but for something that's negative and not something that's positive.
Yeah. And doing what she did, that's not a good look, and that's what she's gonna be remembered for.
Exactly. And if I was like an employer, I would, of course people do background checks and even check social media nowadays. Like, you're going to be remembered for this. I like kudos to her, like maybe in the future she might have luck, but I doubt it. I doubt employers would be hiring something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but that's all I have to say. Thanks again for answering at least.
Well, thanks for calling in, all right?
All right.
Well, I shout out to her. Shout out to the lady for calling in. Beth, was you trying to call in? Call back in, Beth. I like the accent, you know. Kind of Caribbeanish or whatnot, coastal, you know. Salute to the callers, man. Beth, call back in, Beth. You know, Killer, I grew up in the 90s too, you know. It seems like two different worlds. Two different worlds, you know. It seems like we have, even the people who have nothing have everything. It seems like access, you know, to everything. You know, growing up, you had to work, you had to save, you had to anticipate, you know, wait on things. But that made it better. Now you have everything at your fingertips, you know. You're doing video checks. Oh, of course, they're scouring social media, especially if you got an Instagram. They're probably asking for Instagrams, Facebook accounts. Well, Beth, the line is open now. You can call in. I'll hold the line open for Beth. So, Beth, if I see your number, Beth. I'm just gonna wait on you. Everybody else, hold off. I'll get one more call in. That'll be you, Beth. Okay. So, Beth, call back in. All right, and you can come talk to me. All right, what's going on? Is it Beth?
Hello?
Yeah, this is Beth.
Hello?
Hello, Beth, is that you?
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about my abortion policy.
Okay, but hopefully it's not too long. But yeah, you can tell me about it.
No, it's not too long.
All right. So what you got? What you got?
I mean, it's kind of related because that girl in the video, she's gonna have at least 4 abortions.
Mm-hmm.
We know this.
Okay.
So, I just feel like, you know, everybody makes mistakes and stuff. Like, everybody can pull a Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I feel like the first time it's like, okay, you take this experience and you learn from it. But after they try to get an abortion the second time, I think that's when it's time to cut that clip.
Really?
And the guys.
So
But I mean, I'm saying, like, already had the opportunity. You can't just continue aborting all the babies. You can't just abort whole elementary schools just because you don't want to work on them.
Well, what do you think about the women who get abortions just to get them, instead of it being a situation like an emergency, or they just realize they made a huge mistake?
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, but there's a lot of women claiming that's going on, or they're claiming some type of sexual abuse. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like in rape and
yeah, but we know the stats are not going to say that's why women are getting abortions. You know.
Oh, then there needs to be a report filed.
Yeah, and also
no report, no abort.
That's why, but you know, there are women out there, right, that are saying that men are trying to control their bodies by, you know, tell them they need to wait 8 weeks in order to, you know, not wait 8 weeks. They have until 8 weeks to get the abortion, and they're saying that men are trying to control their bodies. Do you believe that a woman would know by 8 weeks that she's pregnant?
I think that there are some specific cases of fatties who don't know that they're pregnant, but not everybody.
Okay. Because
but some of them I've seen on those shows where it'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize until I started going into labor.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you have a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have bigger problems.
Yeah, I just think that, you know, you got women that make bad decisions, and they want to use abortion, I think that this law, it actually does make sense, man, because it's not like they're telling you can't get one at all. They're just saying you have a shorter window, in order to be able to do it, which is actually cool because women are literally bellies are growing. Then all of a sudden they want to get abortions. It's like, because some women have been carrying up babies up to 9 months and then want to get abortions.
Okay, well then if they want to do that, then no, they can't do that up to 9 months.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what they want to stop.
Can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they want. They want to stop those,
Oh no, they're just being irresponsible.
Yeah.
But I think another thing that would help is they have to pay child support too.
Talk to women?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I bet you I would stop bending over Tyrone's couch, letting him nut up in me, nutty buddy. I bet you I would stop letting him nut up in me if I had to pay child support.
Bending over Tyrone's couch. Yeah, well, I think if that was in play, a lot of women would stop having unprotected sex. But they like it just as much as men do it. Yeah.
For that money. Even if it's $25 a month, they're not gonna want to pay that.
Yeah.
I bet you I would stop. I had together.
Yeah, but I think that'll be too much accountability for women these days. Like, there'll be too much accountability. Yeah, I think it would. Yeah, that would cut down a lot of like promiscuity. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's any more invasive to cut the clit than it is to get an abortion. I mean, you're literally killing a person.
Well, let me
go inside.
Well, let me ask the women in chat, like, would y'all want your clit to be cut? I heard that Somali don't they do that to Somali girls?
Yeah, no, they do like female mutilation in some parts of Africa, like it's part of their culture. But I'm talking about like if you're just have a history of just serial aborting. You're the female future, just serial aborting. Then I think they should. Because it's not any more invasive than what you're doing.
Yeah, if they're serial aborting, they need to be sterilized. If they're having multiple abortions, they definitely need to be sterilized.
But that's what I'm hearing from guys. They say a lot of women who get an abortion, they'll go and get another one and then another one. And those are the same females talking about, she won't eat me out. Nobody's eating that haunted house.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right, Beth. I appreciate you calling in. All right.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to Beth. I think I'm gonna call it as far as the phone calls are concerned. But hold on. I appreciate everybody that has called in. But yeah, I gotta get some stuff done outside of YouTube, so gotta go do that. But shout out to everybody that's here. Make sure y'all like the stream. Yeah. I agree. They should definitely minimize the amount of abortions that a woman has. But a lot of women, I think they get addicted to it. They done had one by one ain't shit nigga, then they have another abortion by another ain't shit nigga, then they have another abortion by another ain't shit nigga, and it's almost like they get attached to it in a way. But that's not the right way of going about it, man. Yeah, that's not the right way of going about it, man. A good night, Nicole. Shout out to everybody that was here, man. It was a good show. It was a good show, man. I appreciate it. This is an earlier show. I actually do like doing early shows. Sorry for the mic levels, people. Sorry for the mic levels. Hold on a second. I actually do like to do early shows. I was thinking about doing earlier shows between 3 and like maybe 7 in between that time period. Unprotected sex is a rush for most. It is, ain't it, Marie? Especially if it's like, you doing it I wouldn't say in public, but you're not at home. So you sort of, you out and about, and let's say it just happened. You know what I'm saying? I do think people get addicted to that. You know, I think they definitely get addicted to that. But I really believe that a lot of you sisters got to understand that you're doing this to yourself. You're your own worst enemy. No matter how many times you claim that we are making you look bad, you're doing it to yourself. You know, you're your own worst enemy. Your own worst enemy. And the thing is that you got women, man, they're having sex with multiple men. Like, they're having sex with multiple men. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's not like that, you know, it's just one guy or two. You got women that are having multiples. They're sleeping with two dudes, 3 different guys at the same time. You know, and every time is unprotected. There may be the one guy they don't really like that. They'll make him wear rubber, but not the other ones. Not the other ones, you know. They don't care. They don't care if he wears one, because they will love to have his child. Okay. As a matter of fact, if they get pregnant, that's who they're gonna want to be the father. You know. But yeah, we have a lot going on in society. You know, times are changing. I can feel it politically. Social media with all the censorship that's going on. You know, you can't even say a lot of things you want to say because people get in their feels, and you know, they get to wanting to flag you, or you know, you have content demonetized. You know, there's a lot of videos I've had to scrap due to these new policies on YouTube and other social media platforms. There's a lot of video concepts I've had to scrap, you know, unfortunately, because it involves me holding women more and more accountable for the things that they do. Not saying I stopped doing it. I'm still doing that. But, you know, some of the topics that I've wanted to speak on, I've had to either change it in a way or just scrap it all together. But I'm still going to definitely put that pimp hand down when need be, you know, because I think it definitely needs to be. You know, put that red pill hand down, as I'm gonna say it, being politically correct. You know, but we need to really, as a people, men and women, be able to call out the fuckery and the dysfunction, because the shit is only gonna go away if we all take a stance on it. You know what I'm saying? Take a stance on it, you won't see this shit going on. You really won't. But all right, people, I'll see y'all on the next show or video. Shout out to y'all, and I'll see you later. Y'all have a good rest of your weekend, all right? Make good decisions.